If you're lucky enough to get to listen to TSN Radio in Toronto in the afternoons, you hear this guy, Bryan Hayes, along with Jeff O'Neill and Jamie McLennan. They formed the trio, the popular trio that makes Overdrive such a fun show to listen to. And now he's at Scotiabank Arena hanging out and probably not feeling so great about this Leafs performance. Man, Bryan Hayes, they start out so strong, and then another second period collapse affects them again. How do they keep letting this happen to them in that middle frame?
Well, tonight it was the best players on the team that allowed it to happen, Jay. They set the tone. The first shift of the second period, William Nylander gets muscled off a puck, and Samsonov probably should have had that Barkov shot, but it's in the net. It's 2-2. All of a sudden, this building's deflated. The bench is deflated. The next shift, Mitch Marner comes out, jams up Auston Matthews with a pass that was unnecessary. Matthews tries to get cute with it at the same blue line that Nylander lost the puck at. Boom, it's 3-2, and they're chasing it. It happened all season where they'd have great first periods at home and they'd let the game get away from them. It's almost as if they were content. They thought it was over. They were playing as if it was over after being up 2-1. And they were great in the first period. And they were great in the third period. But that second period, that was the game. It was like a minute and 6 seconds. That's the game. And now they're down 2-0 going back to Florida.
And, Bryan, you mentioned it. You know, the best players weren't great in that second period, and Auston Matthews was among them. How much more do they need out of 34 to get back into this series in Florida?
I think they need a lot more out of him. He's the best player on the team. Everything filters down from him. The expectations should be high. And through 2 games, he has not met them. He has not played up to his capabilities through 2 games. It doesn't mean he's been awful through 2 games, but he hasn't been great. And there's no excuse for him to be anything but the best player on the ice. I would suggest outside of playing the Edmonton Oilers, that should always be the case. Whoever Matthews plays, he should be the best player on the ice. And he was not good enough tonight. Again, the turnover on the go-ahead goal, the game winner at the beginning of the second period, that's on him. He took a stick penalty to end the second period. That set a poor tone at the beginning of the third period. He is in the same realm as the best players in the world. He needs to play like Leon Draisaitl has been doing every single night in the playoffs, like Matthew Tkachuk has been doing, like Nathan MacKinnon did before they got knocked out. He's more than capable of doing it. He did it multiple times in the first round. Now they're down 2-0. It's on him. He's got to be the best player on the ice in Florida.
You watch this team more than anyone I know. How confident are you, Bryan, that they can come back and get into the series on Sunday?
Well, they're hitting the road, which is a good thing.
Yep.
Generally, it shouldn't be. Historically, that should not be a good thing, right, Jay? But they're 1-4 at home in the playoffs. They're 3-0 on the road. So I think in terms of their mentality on the road, for whatever reason, they shore things up. They play a simpler style, a grittier style, albeit that was against Tampa. This is a different series. And I think it's on them to prove that just getting the monkey off their back against Tampa, that wasn't enough. Because if it was, this series is over. It's done. If they're just simply happy beating Tampa and winning a series for the first time in 19 years, they may as well not even fly down there. Because if that's their mentality, they're toast. I didn't think they got thoroughly outplayed through 2 games, but it doesn't matter. You're down 2-0, and now you're hitting the road against a very confident Florida team. Samsonov's got to be better. The Leafs' best players have to be better, and they have to be smarter in key areas. So if there's a winner in that room, and they want to prove that the reputation they set against Tampa is consistent and who they're going to be in the future, man, they've built themselves a big hole. They've dug themselves a big hole, but I think they can get out of it, and it starts on Wednesday, Game 3. They've got to be dominant. It's a must-win. Must-win Game 3.
I got to tell you this. Friday's Overdrive radio show is must-listen. The way you are already fired up the night before, Bryan Hayes. Always great chat with you, buddy, and we will talk to you down the road. Have a great weekend, my friend.
Thank you, Jay. You too, buddy.